Greetings, salutations. Man, I tell you what, a little late news. Might be a little pivot going on. Definitely was no pressure applied. I'm just saying, especially not at all, man. We all innocent, good people around here. We stay out of trouble. Let some good trouble. Because you already know what's up, what it's always about to be. Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
Greetings, salutations. What's up, family? Look, a little black shirt today. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm that old teacher. I ain't old yet, but I did, dude. I be forgetting. So we having like Latin Heritage Week this week, and I can't wear my Latin shirt, man. It's a little on the it's a little on the woke side. I realize who I work for, right? What's up, Marvin? So we supposed to have like a pep rally tomorrow, and so I got confused if it was tomorrow or today. So I was, I'm gonna wear my black. So I wore switching up. Oh shoot! So wear black tomorrow too, though. And we got chapter meeting. Lord, it's good times, man. So you're in the Orlando area, Brothers in Winter Park chapter, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, having chapter meeting. So, but what's up, John Jones? Good to see you, man. Just want to, let it be known, and it also helps when you share the screen, right? Man, here we go. Ha ha. Here we go. No pivot, no progress. What's up, John? I appreciate that, man. What's up, little baby? So, yes, no pivot, no progress, man. So, this is not the pivot. Even though the pivot, Ryan Clark's my guy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I've never met him in person. But besides the fact, the obvious. But I will say I've definitely interacted with him on social media a few times. Every time it's been awesome, even before I started doing this, and even after, still positive, man. So but no pivot, no progress, and part of that is just because with all of the FAMU-ness, like, do we call it foolishness? You got to start asking the questions. When is it time for us to begin to pivot from some of us and some of our people? So, y'all already know what's up, though. Who I try to support, FAMU boosters. Supposed to be the month. Yeah. We coming. We are coming home. Also, round one with St. Clair Moraine. Look, if you got time, I'm gonna miss it. We're gonna be probably a chapter meeting, but 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, afternoon. Sorry, Hallelujah 95. We have Gerald from the Democrat. We talking about this family football game and everything like that, and just kind of keeping a beam with y'all, man. And then also, I know we do our race to $10,000 if you are so inclined. We got a couple fundraisers going. Got another one. I got the message, but I didn't get to put it in there. Sorry, cousin Kelvin. But for next episode, I would definitely have it up there. So we're doing this, trying to raise 10K. We're also trying to do a canopy thing. We got some big dogs coming to help out, man. Soldiers in arms, rattlers in arms. They coming to help out, man. So, have us some good times, some fun times, man. And, some good stuff, man. It's our own brand of entertainment. It's the TP Film Spark Sprinkle with good times. Hey, man, just try to let y'all folks know, man. We got some stuff going. Also, softball team still doing their thing, man. So if you are so inclined, go help them out. Softball Foundation doing something, man. Look, thank you to everybody who follows the Fifth Quarter Twitter page. Y'all know I do not hide my hand when I do stuff. Even though it says Fifth Quarter page, it directs you to who runs the page. So all those jokes are me. And I do have to censor myself because sometimes I'd be like, okay, that's a little too far, something it's a little too on the nose. But This week, man, look, the jokes was coming. And for me, I'm one of those people, I'm a laugh at my pain type of guy. Um, I'm the guy that the only thing I don't laugh at is when I get hurt. And when I get hurt, I get mad. So but hey, what's up, Augustine? What's up, Kylie? What's up, Meredith? What's up, Gail? But purposefully, like that fifth quarter outlet is a spot where they love it. The people who have bequeathed that to me, they're kind of like, hey, run it, have fun with it. And I have fun with it. Like, so this week, it was definitely meant to drive home the point, that, yeah, no. And I talked to some of y'all, some of y'all, y'all do message me, y'all can always hit up, the Facebook page. I respond to every Facebook message, even the bad ones. The Twitter messages, I don't duck smoke. Y'all saw where, Bobby dropped a little something like, hey man, we're not seeing the same things. I don't duck smoke, and if I don't win every argument, I'm not gonna tell you that lie. But I will wait out an argument to be right. So in this case, I didn't want to be right, but I did want to make sure that I made it abundantly clear to anyone that was paying attention that the fan base said they seen enough. And so, y'all had. So, but before we get there, man, the pivot is strong around this piece, man. Volleyball, we're on a losing streak, man. Lost to Cookman, lost to Alabama State, lost to Alabama A&M. Look, y'all might want to go on and make sure y'all scoop up them basketball season tickets while you can. Because I believe they're having a little Friday night event and some more stuff. So thought I had that ready up in there. Didn't. It's okay. So Friday night event, go check out their social media pages. They got that up there. Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on with the volleyball team right now. You know what that means, though? It means they need you to be at the game. If you are present and you can make it, go support the volleyball team. The games are at the best price ever, free $99. Really means you should also, if you can, leave a donation when you can, in the places you can. But it's a tough season this year. Normally, we used to dominate. Like, yeah, Kylan, I was at one of the volleyball games, man. We're not as great as we usually are, but I still like our coach. Like, okay, this is where I'll say with Coach G, right? You've earned this. Like, and when I say, I don't mean the losses. I mean, you've earned the respect from me and others to be able to say, the season isn't where we want it to be, but it's okay. This ain't a time where I'm throwing you out. No. Matter of fact, I'm doubling down. I'm on your side. Why? Because you won the championships. You flipped the roster. You've done so many great things. You've been there, done that. You know what? You win 3-4 championships. You have a bad year. I don't love it, but I'm okay with it. That means we need to be more supportive. Again, I will give you that irrational other side of the fan side football of this. You're not winning. This is the end of the world? Not really. Is it what you want? No. But I'm with Marvin and Kylan. They're young. You look at those young ladies, they're young. You've come off of some years where even in the recruiting class, you brought in some juniors and seniors who got some, they got some time out there. This year, they're a little young. Give them some time. I think by season's end, they're going to be better. I don't know if we win the SWAC this year in volleyball. But at the same point, if we come back and you can build back better, I'm here for it. Like, that's where I'm looking for, man. And look, I understand volleyball team, they're young. So interesting to hear any team is considered young in the world of transfer portal. I mean, you're not wrong, Jordan. But last year's team was kind of seasoned. Like, even some of the new players you brought, they were seasoned Saints. They had been on the battlefield, did the work, did the good work. Came to FAMU and did some more work. And look, pretty much, from watching volleyball, they still, from when I went, Again, it's been a few weeks since I've been to one of the volleyball games. They still got to mesh together. They still got to figure out where everybody's supposed to be. There's some of that unwritten communication in a sport like volleyball that you need. I don't know how many of y'all ever played volleyball, but that's not a fun game to play when you hitting each other. And I say hitting each other, I mean your teammates. Like when I was at FAM, we had a little church group. We'd actually play beach volleyball at Florida State. So we would little church group. Some of us went to FAM, some went to FSU. All of us came together for the cause of the Lord, right? But when we would do that, we play volleyball, man. We play barefoot. Look, don't judge me. It's just because I didn't want to get sand in my shoes. I learned real quick. I'd rather play barefoot in the sand, take a bath, and rub down the rubbing alcohol than to get sand in my shoes and be walking around FAMU with sandy shoes. Anyways, it was the pits when you ran into somebody. And you can see at times they still learning to communicate. They still trying to, they get each other that look like, girl, you hit me. We're going to be fighting on the floor. But it's coming, man. It's coming. Give it some time. If it's not this year, give it a year. I mean, Coach Gokhan has earned, for me, you got a good 2 years of, okay, struggle before I'm like, hey, Coach, what's going on? But right now, I'm like, hey, Coach, when y'all come to Orlando? We need y'all to play UCF. You already played Cookman. I got to double check to see if they play again. That game is just, that timing's weird. But FAMU softball, I'm still here, right? I'm in love with it. Basketball again, season tickets tomorrow. They're having a little something downtown Get Down, Frenchtown. So, downtown Get Down in Seminoles. Let me say this. Bless your heart to anybody that's going to deal with that tomorrow. I wouldn't. Respectfully, FSU got a home game tomorrow. Then you got the Frenchtown going on. There's a lot of people in an area that's kind of congested. Frenchtown and downtown aren't that far apart from each other, and everybody don't know how to drive. I'm just saying, I'm not telling you what somebody told me. I'm telling you from what I know, because one of my little side streets that I take to FAMU, y'all still don't know how to drive on that road because y'all get in the left lane and you come over into my right lane, and I'd be like, stay the hell out of my lane. So I'm gonna remember the name later. My mama definitely knows it, but y'all just be coming over to that lane like it merged into two. And unfortunately, one of the things about Tallahassee, our roads pretty much tell you where to go. If the lanes, both lanes turn left, both lanes turn left. It ain't you starting left and just merge and make it to a right. No. Somebody hit my first car one time and dented her car. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, this car made out of metal. Now this one right here, don't hit my car. Don't hit my car. I wish that next Friday I could have. Look, I'm not gonna lie about this. I know this a lot. I'll ask for the SWAC to do this though, and it's a lot. Just for our game day runners, right? Shout out to Dennis, man. I gotta check on my boy. Hopefully he didn't get lost up in Alabama. We're gonna install his boo. Look, make sure you come back. Don't go there. We know what happened. Once you go black, you don't go back. But once you go up there and you go black, we need you to come back. Come on, Dennis. Don't play with me. We understand. You one of us. You get to play at the cookout. Okay, you about to marry to the family. You better come back to work on Saturday. Look, Dennis, no, I like Dennis. From the moment go, Dennis has been cool people's man. So, anyways, but yeah, so basketball, that's gonna be a lot. But word from the locals, be wary. I'm just gonna say it like this: if you're in town Friday night, it's a great night to go to the north side to eat. I'm just saying, I don't know what time Cush's closed, but it'd be a great night to go to Cush's Bayou Rouge. Walk on Bistro is mid. If you're in Tallahassee, Walk on Bistro is really mid. I don't know how to say that enough. It's mid. You might as well just go on across the street and go to Outback. Ted's is still solid. I hadn't been to Ted's Montana Grill in a minute. Last time I went, it was solid. But this is a great day to go eat on North Side. If you're on Friday in Tallahassee on Friday, not here. I'm in Orlando. I'll be there Saturday morning. Me and Brian, we on the road. Brian Fulford, now we coming. But yeah, if you in Tallahassee on Friday, go eat on the north side. Don't do it to yourself. You can go on the south side if you want to, but don't downtown. Talking about going to some Harry's seafood bar and grill and bless that with a side of fries. I'm not going to Harry's on no downtown get down night. The best thing about downtown get down is they be having beer and stuff, like, and the movie theater's right there. But don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Just word from the local yokel on what to do. FAMU football though. Hey man, this ain't what you came for. We got some offers out there. Look, Anthony Cologne got a receiver. Independence. Indy's been good to us. That's where Major came from. And Major is playing professional football. He's playing football in Mexico. I'm just saying. Isaiah Major playing football in Mexico. So, just saying. He's, 6'4"? Let me say 6'4", 200 pounds. Kids from Hollywood, Florida. Junior, sophomore. He's a JUCO kid. So I can't tell you what he's gonna be. But he there. Other one, Holden Gregor, 6'7", 330. Yeah. And I believe he listed as tackle. So yeah, he's from California. We'll see. Now this other one, Jonah Rodriguez. He's a bounce back from the Pac-12. Good luck. I believe UNC's already offered. But hey, UNC might have a football coach, so you never know. They might be pivoting themselves. So just say it. Like, I'm just anyways. So FAMU's got the NCCU game coming up, right? Saturday's while we all coming up. Man, the news got better, didn't it? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, this is just me personally. I did not like our quarterback situation. I remember driving back and talking to Brian after the Alabama State game and just being like, okay. And we listened to some spaces. We caught a space where it was some of the parents talking, and boy, they threw your boy under the bus. But in watching these first 4 games, right? And I'm with you, Mary, but I'm not. I think the first thing, you definitely got to change quarterbacks. Like, I stand with Colsey, and a lot of things, and quietly I'll nod my head and agree. And I really like listening to him explain X's and O's. Believe it or not, a lot of times my questions have diverted away from being, okay, tell me this, to like, okay, I know you know what you're doing. Tell me something that shows it for the masses. Because, man, Cozy can break down some film, and you'd be like, okay. But then he break down the same film, and you keep throwing the same guy at their quarterback. And you're like, bro, what are we not seeing? Like, I told somebody else this. I was like, I didn't play college football. I played high school ball. I was all right. I wasn't great. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, oh, yeah, I'd have went to FAM. No. I'd have walked on the FAM, and I'd have been a happy special teams guy at best. But one thing I did do and do now, I watch video and film of other people explaining the game because I want to learn. Like, I learned how to read defenses. I learned what you should do. And like, okay, cool. And you watch that from professionals, XYZ in the third. But some of this is just play game, like game experience. And we were watching it. Like, anybody who's played football is looking at RJ like, okay, you got the intangibles, but you haven't put it together yet. And that's where, after the Howard game, I told you I was mad. And we're not going to keep going back there because I saw the intangibles that he sees, but I didn't see the tangibles on the field. Like, what I saw was, man, this kid could really like develop into something. But you're at FAMU. And unlike Coach Gokon got championships as the head coach. You got championships as an assistant. You've been the assistant pimp. Like, you wasn't the head dude. You wasn't HNIC. So you don't get that same grace that the HNIC gets. And sorry, but that's just how it goes. And it's not that, a lack of love or hatred or anything, but it's just the simple fact that we all are watching the same thing. And you can argue play calling all you want to. I told y'all, look, man, good brother Swoop, put in the chat on things like we're not watching the same game. And I said we're not, because I'm seeing a quarterback struggle to go through his progressions. I'm seeing a quarterback who is obviously showing that he doesn't know the entire offense. And I openly wonder how much of the offense do any of the quarterbacks know with them coming in that late in the summer. I feel like you probably ran off the guy who knew the offense the best in Martin, but that's a story for another day that I'll let him and his family tell. But I think in this current state, you got to run with somebody who knows how to run a college offense. I think RJ's shown you he can run a high school offense. He probably could. And I've seen the video of it. The video looked good. But at the college level, the film looked bad. And that's where I say right now, you got to make the quarterback change. And I feel like, from what I've heard in the last couple hours, we're going to get some change. Hope and change is afoot, and no Obama needed. I ain't going to say no other names because I ain't trying to get canceled. But hope and change is on the way, and it sounds like it's riding on a jet. Now, do I think because Jet Petty is now potentially going to start after everyone stated the case that, and even coaches said on multiple accounts, I keep throwing RJ out there and he's missing reads. And it's like, bruh, come on, man. Like, I had it ready. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I had the Chris Carter ready. Come on, man. Look, when I tell y'all, I had like 6 memes coming. I had the memes ready because we was gonna laugh our way through our pain. But I truly feel like, and look, thank you, Kylan. I feel like, honestly, RJ should be redshirted. I don't think you should have played him this many games. I think you should have redshirted him, played him maybe the Howard game. I go back. I will not leave. I will finish on this hill. All 3 quarterbacks should have probably played in that game in some form or fashion. But all of them are not the same quarterback. Like, I think some of what you're struggling with in the quarterback realm and in the quarterback room is you're trying to force every quarterback to be the same guy. And none of us are the same people. We don't think the same. Hey, even within this quarterback debate that we've had within ourselves as a FAMU fan base, some people are like, man, coach just ain't calling the plays. And you're like, okay, I can hear that. And then you go back and you're like, but when coach did call the plays, he didn't hit the receivers. And in the last game, it got so bad, he was throwing balls in the dirt. Like, respectfully, he's struggling. And when somebody's struggling, you don't just keep leaving them out there. You help them out. Help him, as old folks say. Sound like your auntie. Help him out, baby. Help him. Like, the kid was struggling. He's visually struggling at the end of the Alabama State game. And you let that kid finish. That's malpractice. That is football coaching malpractice. Like, you gonna say, don't come, the players come at you. I'm not coming at you harshly. We've had Coach Colsey on the show before. I got Coach's number. He's always welcome. It's not a hatred thing. But we're going to follow his words. Coaching, that's malpractice for you to keep running that kid out there when he's struggling. Like, he ain't even struggling. He was struggling. Like, there's no STR on it. That's the SK. That SKR. He's struggling. But it was struggling at the end of that Alabama State game. You kept rolling him out there. At least put Jefferson in at that point, because Jet may have shook you off. I don't know if he did or didn't. But at least put Jefferson in there to let him get some clock hours, because God forbid if he gets to throw the ball once or twice. I don't think this has been properly managed. That's just me. Like, and again, I agree. I would look, and remember when he announced RJ, I said, okay, cool. So you're going to run a read option? That's what I was given. That's what when I looked on film, I was like, he can spin it. he don't really want to run, but he can. With Tyler, I'm like, oh, you're going to run the read option. Because honestly, if I'm being real with you, Tyler Jefferson's the closest thing you have to an Andrew Body. I don't know if he's quite as accurate as Andrew Body, but each quarterback is the stereotype of where you got them from. Jet is a California kid. He is a very accurate passer. He gets rid of the ball quick. He looks good in the pocket. When the pocket collapses, he climbs the pocket. He doesn't just take the sacks. He climbs in the pocket. Tyler's a Florida guy. More read option, a little more speed. If you're going to run a read option, he's going to kill you. Like, if not, you ask him to stay in the pocket too long. That ain't his gift. Can he do it? Yeah. Is he going to do it as well as Jet? No. And RJ, kid from Georgia. Kind of mixture of the two. He's probably a better runner than he is passer, but he wants to show you that he can pass. He doesn't want to get typecast as a running quarterback. You can see that in their play styles. If we can see that, what the world are you seeing? Like, so that's just me. Like, and Hollow said he could redshirt now. He only played 4 games. I'm just saying, we'll stop allowing him to splash in that water, trying to keep his head above water. He has mechanics to swim, but nothing is coming together. Exactly. Like, to me, you give RJ 2 years, he might be a problem. But again, that's why I said I compared it on our review show. He reminds me of Rashawn McKay before he cut his hair. Rashawn McKay had the dreadlocks. Fresh cut McKay. Ooh, boy, that joke will clean it in the what? Fresh cut McClay? What? Look, can't even say his name right. Look, fresh cut Rashawn McKay? That boy, that dude was a problem. Fresh cut McKay was a problem. Look, dreadlock McKay, he was all right. Fresh cut McKay, he only had really one bad game, and that was against the Monstars from Jackson State. Like, otherwise, that was crazy. Yeah, it's a cluster F. It is painful to watch. The plays are there, but he constantly misses them, and the big plays have to come. Yeah, and I don't disagree with anybody who says the play calls are limited. I don't think anybody knows the offense that well. I'll say it that much. I won't say who knows what better. I don't think any of them know the offense to the level where you can run everything that Burris wants to throw at you. I'll say that. But I do think the quarterback change is not only needed, it's warranted. And I think this is what a quarterback change in this game does for you. And this is why, before we even get there, I don't think you need to win it. This is not a game I don't want to lose. But if you lose to North Carolina Central, it doesn't hurt you. Because, and I'm not going to lie to y'all, everything's not in front of you. That's a lie. Look, we're going to pull it back up, or we're going to just be real about this. Realest guy in the room. Everything's not in front of you. That's a lie. It was a lie when Willie Simmons told you. It's a lie now. Everything is not in front of you. In the SWAC East, if you lose one game, you are pretty much relegated to depending on making the playoffs. And there's a problem with that, because if you're going to make the playoffs, you have good wins or good losses. You have neither. You lost to Howard. Howard is a middling team. They have not had a win against a winning team yet. They didn't beat anybody else worth a cuss. You lost to FAU. They suck. And they're a level ahead of you. You struggled against Albany State. They're actually good, but they're a Division II team. Nobody from the playoffs is going to give you no credit for that. Then you sat up there and got mollywopped at home against Alabama State. You hope they mollywop everybody else in the season, so that looks like something. So you need them to lose 2 games to make the SWAC championship. Them and Jackson. Not just one, but the 2. You need them both to really lose 2 games, because otherwise your strength of schedule, your schedule, everything else in a ranking to ranking battle. If Jackson doesn't lose another game, who you picking? You look. I'm wearing it. Who is SWAC, baby? you know, and we saved the SWAC. But this year, do you think FAMU would look better than Jackson State so far? And your realness, you can look. My hatred in my heart cost me a pick last week. I should have picked Jackson State. I picked Alabama A&M. I hope I scoop one up. I was 4-1. Let's be real. Like, you averaging 14 points, or no, I'm sorry, your high is 14 points a game. That's not playoffs. That's not playoff football. Everything is not in front of you if Alabama State don't lose 2 games. And you really need them both to lose 2 games. Like, just saying, man, you know. Then the winning begins. We'll see. I don't think you're going to make that move, though. Defense would look a lot better. They would have gotten time to rest. I don't disagree with that. Look, you're not wrong, Hollow. If I'm looking at points per game and other stats, I'm just saying. Man, look, Uncle Steve, I was hoping. I told you. I let the hate in my heart consume me that day. That was hatred. That wasn't even like, and I don't hate Jackson State. I know some really good people from Jackson State. Jeff Sloan, Delta. You know, I love Brother Sloan. One of my favorite Jackson State graduates. One of my almost birthday twins, Miss Wells Harris. She just beat cancer, man. Jackson State graduate. Her mom, politician in the great state of Mississippi. You know, I know every Jackson State person that I know personally is an amazing person. It's just the ones on the internet to be trolling like hell. Like, just like our fan base. It ain't the ones that you meet in the parking lot. It's the ones that never come to the games that sit on the internet and talk all day. They the rogues. They the rogue ones. Like, just say it. Every loss for the rest of the season gonna hurt. We have to. Look, people have to. HAFTA. You know that thing. We have to hope how it progresses to the point to relevance. ASU steamrolls JSU and us the steamroll. Look, FAMU by 40 for the rest of the season. That's got to be the mindset. FAMU look better than Jackson State, the band, the fans, and the cheerleaders. I ain't gonna lie. They attendance. Look, y'all talking a whole lot of cash money. Homecoming gonna be on swole. Rest of the games, y'all talking about 25, 30. Your stadium seat 60. Hey, I mean, I get FAMU. Our stadium seat 20. Half our problem, we can't count. Like, can the math department do attendance? Because that first game, 14,000. Where? There's nowhere to sit in the stadium. The stadium seat 18 in a piece, and you can't get on Marvin's level. So you can count that whole level of sold out. Man, my wife got this. I ain't gonna lie. She got it from last year when they had the little Florida Classic thing, man. Y'all know they come down here every year. They had a classic and both schools take over, man. When Jackson State repeat, it would become clear that they have become, thanks to Dion being the head coach, is old for HBCU football as long as is it? I think okay. This now I'm gonna throw you for a loop on this one before we get back to FAMU. I think real schools are Alabama A&M and Alabama State. I think Jackson State has every advantage that a school that has 60,000 seat stadium can have, right? But you start looking at the investment of the schools in Alabama. They're investing in football in a meaningful way, in sports, in a way that Jackson did when Dion was there, and they still eating off that plate. But look what Alabama A&M's done. Look what Alabama State did and continues to do. I think those are the schools that you're really gonna, in the next 3 to 5 years, if they can figure out recruiting, those schools will be a problem because they're gonna have the facilities, and they've worked on increasing enrollment. Like a lot of stuff we complain about at FAMU, you don't hear as much from them. I'm just saying that, man. Like, just saying. VCU has the 4th best scoring offense in the conference, but the same thing persists defensively for them. They can't stop a sentence. Yeah. Still giving up 250 yards of rushing. Hey, man. As down as we are on the Florida Classic, y'all realize they had Franklin running for 5 yards a carry. Like, if you can get an offense where the defense has to respect the passing game, that Florida class gonna get ugly. And that ain't me being a fan, but I've seen Cookman. I wasn't impressed. Only thing that had me saying that we wouldn't beat them was the fact we had our guy at quarterback. That was it. And again, that's not a slight on the kid. It's just I've seen him struggle over 4 games, 3 in a piece. Because I don't count the FAU game. I don't count that for him or Jet. That pass Jet threw a dime. That's just excellent coverage. That boy, what? Yeah, just saying that. Tell Brian the Cozy was not chasing the ghost of Billy Joe. He chasing the ghost of Alice Wood. I'm just saying. And again, that's my thing about these NFL guys, man. I don't know how well it works. Hell, we see what's going on at UNC. Bill Belichick is supposed to be the him. He's supposed to be Himothy. And yeah. Ew. I don't want Ray Lewis at FAMU. I won't argue with you about Ed Reed. You got that. Ray Lewis? You don't want that. You don't. It sounds good. You don't want that. Go grad chapter that black and gold. Too late on that, man. Look, you Kappa dudes to do it end of the month. We should be happy to try win this season. I'm just saying, like, I'm a Tiger and I'll subscribe to the channel. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Like, I appreciate it. Look, if you that Tiger black and gold, man, don't forget my boy E. Scott. Graduate of Grambling. So, I got one of my letters from a Grambling Tiger, man. I ain't gonna hold you. I love it. We do look like trash though. And it is. I mean, they're gonna get homecoming. It's kind of like us. Like, you could expand, brag. Okay, some of y'all gonna hate this, and I don't care. If I were FAMU, I know you don't want to do it, especially these days and times. But man, if you could throw homecoming and dope, I know you don't want to do it. But if you threw homecoming and dope, you would probably get 45,000 people in there. I'm just saying. And the stadium seats 60. Like, you would come to their trap and take over their trap, and they would probably be happy because the way they're doing, look, they are renting that out for whoever wants it. I don't know if y'all saw where since they finished that stadium, and we're gonna get back to FAMU, FSU they have the Savannah Bananas coming. They have a concert coming to the stadium, which I've done a concert. I did T.I. at Dope when he came to Tallahassee that year. But yeah, they're turning that into a multi-use facility. Message. Now offensively, back to FAMU. With Jet in there, I do think the offense is going to look better. I think it's going to be the amazing, unstoppable force that we all hope it is. No, not at all. I think it's going to look better, but 21 points is better. Hell, 20 points is better. So that's not saying a lot. Like, we've seen an offense that has been pretty much inept against Division I talent. I think Jet's going to move the ball. I think the defense is going to relax. I think you're going to eventually hit a place where the playbook gets limited because I don't think you can run the full playbook with any of your quarterbacks. Just being real. I think you ran off the most experienced quarterback when you ran off Martin. I don't know if you ran off or quit, but when you lost Martin, I think that's where you lost that guy that could be like, I can run the whole offense. And I really don't know how much of the offense he could run because I don't know how mobile he was. Like, I've seen him. He threw a good football, but I don't know how mobile he was, if I'm being real with you, right? I just know from the pocket, I like what I saw. But I think I don't know who could run that whole offense. If we're being real with the entire offense with its complexities and everything, right? I think the offensive line is going to get fewer penalties. I think the running game is going to look better, honestly. I think Thad Franklin's going to be like who he is. Like, he's a 79, 80 yards per game guy. A good night, he'll get you 150 against the right team. But I think in this day and age, the era of you having one running back run for 150 yards like Earl Campbell is over. Like, you're not going to get a lot of that. You're going to get 3 running backs who are going to share the load. And if you get 3 running backs combined to run for 275, you did all right. I think that's what you're going to get. And I think I think the fact that you made the quarterback change when you did, that re-energized the fan base a bit. I think you're still gonna lose. I never had us win this game, but I think now that you've kind of solidified and said, "Hey, man, we've done enough. We've given RJ every chance to win this position. He just hadn't put it together on the field." I think now that you can, okay, hey, Jet's the guy. Let's see what this is. Let's see what it's gonna be, because if the offense is there, it's going to matter. And I think the big question for every fan is going to be receivers, because I'm not arguing with nobody that said that the receivers didn't catch the ball for RJ. I ain't going to argue with, I saw them drop some passes, a lot of passes. I also saw a lot of passes thrown behind them. So that's, going to be interesting too. But on Jets interception, y'all know that's my favorite player on offense. And I'm biased. Ace Cobb is my favorite player on offense. That ball hit him in the hands. Hit him in the wrong place because he's injured. His hands are not 100%. If he's 100%, does he catch it? Probably. I'm good. I have very good faith if he's 100%, he catches that. Again, that's me owning my bias. Y'all know when Key's biased, I'll tell you I'm biased. But that's his only pick. I think a healthy Ace, that ball's caught. And I think you're going to see Wilcher and some of these other guys catch some of these footballs in stride, which is a difference. The ball won't be behind him. It's going to be in front of him. Do I think he's going to throw picks? Yes. Jet's going to throw a pick. That's my bold prediction. I don't know if they did bold predictions last night. I missed that part. I was trying to. I think Jet's going to throw a pick. I'm okay with it because you know what? Musa threw picks. Musa darn near lost to the Celebration Bowl. But guess what? We won. We saved the swag that night. That's all that mattered. W's and L's. Stats look good. But the W's and the L's are what's important. Like, I'm a Bucs fan. The Bucs and the Cowboys are my favorite teams. The Bucs won a Super Bowl with Brad Johnson. That was a boring offense, but they won a Super Bowl. The Cowboys had that offense. The Cowboys also had Tony Romo, Dez Bryant. That offense was fun to watch. They ain't won a Super Bowl since 1994, 95. So it looked good, but he ain't got no rings for it. Baltimore Ravens offense is ugly as heck with Trent Dilfer. He got Super Bowl. Again, if you can throw a pick, but end of the game, we got more points than the other team, brother, you can throw all the picks you want as long as I'm winning. I need you to take a chance. Like, you got to take a chance. And what I haven't seen is that ball get thrown downfield enough. I don't disagree with nobody about that. But some of that's because you missed your read. And can we get it? Is the quarterback in there that we have coming in there? Can he hit his reads? And I'll double it down to you. You want to play? You want to get Jefferson in there a little bit? I'm not just doing it because he's new. I'm not. It's because he's got a skill set. And for me, when you're developing an offense, right? Like, we've all coached football at some level before, right? You got to use it. You got to play the cards in your hand. And if I have a quarterback that I know is known for running the ball and known for being a pretty good runner, you think I'm not going to put the ball in his hands? I've said this for 3 weeks straight. I don't understand why anytime you get close to the goal line, Jefferson, come on, man. Holler at the boy. Why? Because the worst you could do is run the read option and say, hey, if you don't see nothing, throw it over there to something and hit somebody's car. Or throw it over the field house. That's the worst that can happen. That's the worst thing you can tell him to do. Because the worst that can happen is him fumble or throw interceptions. But tell him if you don't see nothing, throw it out the back of the end zone. Get outside the pocket and throw it out the back of the end zone. Throw it over somebody's head. If they can jump and catch it that high, they earned it. I'm just saying, mix it up. Because offensively, it is vanilla. But some of it's vanilla because the ingredients are vanilla. You ain't got nothing but, you ain't got no chocolate chips. You ain't got no Oreos. You ain't got no whipped cream, no chocolate syrup. You got no cookies, no brownies. You got milk, ice, heavy whipping cream, vanilla syrup. I mean, you got artificial vanilla. You ain't even got it authentic, and sugar. That's it. You got basic ingredients. So you got to mix them ingredients up. You better figure it out. Like, you're going to have to open up the offense, be more imaginative. Because everybody's saying it's boring, ain't wrong. But some of the folks ain't seeing what we all see, in the quarterback room. Fellas, I gotta believe that they are seeing things in practice with Jet that had repeated itself, saying he's not ready. Gotta believe that for my own sanity. I think some of y'all just want to see a black quarterback. I don't care. I'll tell the truth. Some of y'all just don't want to see the white boy play quarterback. I don't care. It could be a white coach. It can be a white quarterback. It could be a white baseball coach, a white basketball coach. Guess what? At the end of the day, I want dubs. I want dubs. I am Dubs McGee. I want the wins. Let me leave that there. Let me stop before I get myself in some trouble. Defensively, we've been saying this weeks. You better bring a fourth man, especially this week, because North Carolina Central they've actually gotten worse offensively. Like, that's crazy to say. Like, none of y'all probably thinking about this, but this was the highest scoring offense in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference last year. They were averaging about 40 points per game, something crazy like that. They're averaging 33 points per game. Yeah, that's crazy. You dropped off like a whole 7 points, and your offense is not as good as it was last year with the same quarterback. I mean, Walker, yeah. But Walker's not perfect. Like, he does make bad decisions sometimes. That's every person, though. That's not even like a saying something. Man, Keith, you said something there. No, I didn't. Just being real. Everybody makes bad decisions. That girl you was talking to in high school, you thought you was gonna marry that girl. You 9 times out of 10, you like, man, dodged the bullet on that one. Like, come on, dog. Like, we all made bad decisions. But in the game, hey, I need you to make more good decisions than bad decisions. And that's what Walker does. Over 1,000 yards already passing. And you got a running game. You got a two-headed monster. So first thing we already know is, one, you got to slow down the run. But defensively, you also got to look for the play action. Like, I think as much as we're saying they're going to run the ball, they're going to run the ball, they're going to run the ball, they're going to run the ball. Oh, and they got Walker too. What does that tell you they're going to probably do offensively? If you're a defensive back. I'm just saying, as a person that is going to look at this from a defensive side, if I'm lined up at DB, I got to be honest. I got to play my guys honest in the secondary because, oh yeah, they've heard about our running game. They've heard what he's done. They've heard that the guy last year is at Virginia. He just beat Florida State the other week. What you mean? So first play of the game, if I'm North Carolina Central, play action, and I'm dropping a dime. I'm telling you, I'm running play action. I guess, what was that, 16 or 19? And I'm dropping a dime. I ain't trying, your boy Huggins yet. But I'm trying with them corners. I'm trying you first play of the game just because I don't respect you. I don't. And that's not me saying that as a person, I don't not respect FAMU. I'm saying when I'm looking at film, y'all got to show me. You got to look. The first half is where you got to show me something. Like, I'm very big into that Jimbo Fisher school of coaching. That's why I really feel like none of y'all want him as a head coach at FAMU. Jimbo's not trying to score the first drive. He's trying to figure out what you got. Like, all right, y'all say y'all them. Show it to me. That first drive is not, we trying to score. Of course I'm trying to score. I'm trying to score every time. But first drive of the game, I'm going to try you. Like, I don't respect you. Like, and that's just me. That's just my personality. I'm disrespectful. As a football person, first drive of the game, I'm disrespectful. Like, I'm trying you because I got to. Because if I don't try you, I'm backing down to you. I can't do that on a football field. Because the second I back down to you, you're going to try me. Like, we can't have that. Like, we can't have that. That this ain't a public space where I gotta act like I have this kind of fake decorum and all this other stuff. No, I ain't got that. I don't. Look, who's the man? It's either me or you. And I think first play of the game, if I'm in CCU, I'm trying big time. That first series, I'm running at least one play action pass. I told y'all, first play of the game, play action deep. And I ain't so arrogant in my offensive line that I'm doing the Chris Winkie, but it ain't far off. Look, Chris Winkie, how he hit Snoop Menace down the middle of the field, and that boy said that ran that play action, just hold the ball and just stared and then threw the ball. I'm close to that arrogant. Like, I'm just saying, hit man, I don't want the ball first. Let him have it. And the only reason I defer, second half, I want the ball. I need that possession. I need that possession because that kind of helps going into halftime. I feel like that gives you a little hope coaching. I'm just saying, hard-headed, and one of the things he's going to a P4 as a director of player personnel. Ooh. Hey, FAMU, coming from FAMU? Okay. Take a team's hard and go 75 yards and nothing running but the ball. Hey, boy, if I could do that, if I ain't gonna lie, as an offensive-minded person, if I could run the ball on you, you can't stop me. I'm from that a-hole style. You can't stop it. Run until they stop it. Run the same play until they stop it. I will run in the same gap 17 times. Man, they ran the same play 7 times in a row. I'm getting 5 yards a pop. Well, I'm stopped. They're not stopping me. 7 times 5, that's 35. That's math. Let's go. You're not stopping me. No. I'm sorry. Like, they might be hit, man. You're not wrong. But like I said, for our offense, my only concern is just, especially with Jet coming in there, I don't think he's the fix-all. I think he's better than RJ. And so that's going to probably sound crazy coming from somebody who's been like, put in Jet, like banging the table. Like, yo, you should put in Jet. I don't think he's the magic elixir that's going to fix everything. But what I do think, he puts you in a position to succeed. And I think that's all you ask for as a football player, as a football fan, and a football supporter. Put my team in a place to succeed. Because when you don't put them in a position to succeed, you can't win. And I think the Alabama State game, we put ourselves in a position where we couldn't win. Full stop. I think in the Howard game, when you refused to pull that kid when he was struggling, you put the team in a position where they couldn't win. And I think coaching-wise, and we're going to go to coaching and then we're going to go kind of talk about some of this other stuff. I think too many times our coaching staff has put ourselves in a position where we couldn't win. I don't think we've played to win the game. I think we've played to get by. But I think there's a difference to me between playing to win the game and playing that, man, if this lines up with this lines up, then I'm going to be here. That's like you budgeting yourself. That ain't playing to win the game. To me, playing to win the game is that we are playing to score. And I think what you saw in the Alabama State game was a team who played to win the game. I think if you go back to the Albany State game, that's where the team played to win the game. They just lost. Albany State played to win the game. Alabama State played to win the game. FAU played to win the game. And FAU had better talent than you. So that, you take that with a grain of salt, right? But I think when you start seeing that, we don't play to win the game enough. We're not playing enough to our strong suits with the cards we have in our hand. Every card in your hand ain't a joker, but every card in your hand ain't a 2 of diamonds or a 2 of what's never a spade, a 3 of clubs. Every card ain't a 3 of clubs. You got a few 3 of clubs in there. You got a few jacks. You got 1 joker, couple of aces, got some high spades, got some low spades. But you got a workable hand. And I think you completely misplayed it. I think you just I think you cut your partner a lot. Yeah, we're gonna take this spades terminology. I don't think you was adequately cheating and talking across the table in a way that only you and your seasoned partner know how to do. Look, I'm telling you, if you get me and Jonathan Leonard across the table, you're getting beat. and that's on Hadley. But I don't think we played to win the game. And I think some of our people are gonna have to go different places. I don't know if I love my offensive coordinator on the field. I don't know if I like Burris on the field. I think I want Burris in the press box. It hadn't worked this year. You won in whatever, and he's on the sideline. What has he seen? Not saying that he can't see the field, but it's easier to see the field from the press box. Just saying. Like, you need somebody to get in some ass. That's what head coach is for. That's your job, Cozy. Hey, they cutting fool. You the principal. He the assistant principal. And the rest of them dudes are deans. You that's your job. Hey, what he told you to run? Why you ain't running? Go sit over there. That's your job. You the HNIC. Like, I prefer OCDCs in the press box. Let the head coach be on the sideline. You communicate with him. Y'all tell him what y'all see. Y'all tell him what y'all doing, what y'all running. And he just kind of laissez-faire go with it. You're like, okay. Everything he don't agree with, if he sees something on the sideline, hey, yo, they got this. What's going on? But I'm gonna ask that question. If it happened again this week, I'm definitely gonna ask the question. Like, I think you see more of the field that way. I was just saying. He had to be on the sideline because RJ didn't need to view all 22 players. 2 weeks ago, I predicted Coles would panic early in the game and attempt fourth down wins. He shouldn't. Inexperience always shows in pressure situations. Man. Yeah, those fourth down decisions weren't great, man. I think, man, that stuff you see that you used to do on Madden, like just kind of goofing around. Like, man, I'm going to go for it every fourth down. I don't think it gave you a better position to succeed. And not with that guy at quarterback, right? Again, this isn't a hateful thing to RJ. It's if you're going to do that, you got to mix him up a little bit because RJ's a good athlete. He can throw the ball pretty nicely. But I think you need that guy to kind of come in and be like, okay, bring in a guy like Jefferson. Man, he's a runner. They're going to look and be like, he's the runner. Because what happens on the film? He tends to run. Well, what happens when he throws the ball? Coverage breakdown. Again, is it rocket science? No. But is it crazy that the podcaster watching the show and watching the games is able to be like, yo, man, this might be a good idea? Yeah, that's kind of crazy to me. I'm just saying. I'm just a podcaster that's fanatical about FAMU. I'm just saying it's there. Like, some of our formations I want to see different formations. I don't know how much the offense you're going to throw at these teams now with a new quarterback, but I think it's going to be interesting. And I hope to continue to see. I like some of our route combinations. I'll be honest. Go back and watch some of Burris's route combinations. They're not that bad. Like, as a person that played receiver, are the routes perfect? Are they always crisp? They're actually pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. Our guys run pretty good routes. I ain't gonna hold you. But it's just that the ball's got to be out on time. And you have to be a certain down and distance with any offense to make it work. But especially an offense when it's struggling. You got to be at that particular down and distance. And when you're not, it don't work. So for this game, who I got? NCCU. And I ain't betting no eyebrows on it. I had 28-27 when I went back and looked. I'm going to stick with 28 for NCCU, but give me 24 for FAMU. I think Jet is better than RJ by a touchdown. could be wrong. Hope I'm right. Hope I'm more than right, and that I'm wrong about the outcome of this game. But right now, with what I've seen, I got FAMU losing, but I think Jack's gonna make it better. That's just me. And honestly, I don't think this game matters as far as because it's not a conference game, but the way it matters is that this is your last game before the rest of the conference games. And at this point, you're a Jackson State fan. Look, sorry, Rattlers. On Saturday, you root for Big Blue. We can't argue about this. We need Jackson State to win. We need Jackson State to win. We need Jackson State to win. That's in the story. Full stop. You need JSU to win. Period. And you hate to see it. And you hate to say it. But you need JSU to win. Now, as far as other stuff, look, the pivot is on. Michael Smith is back. As an AD, I hit up our AD, man. I let her know we missed her, man. But at a certain place, you have to figure out what you're gonna do. Like, this game of limbo is not good. Partially because you got inexperienced people trying to fill the void of an athletic director. Not that, again, you hired another person who doesn't have the most experience, but has enough experience. And now you bring in other people who really ain't got that kind of experience, and you bring in Mr. Magic. Look, I'm telling you right now, if you work for FAMU right now, this ain't the time to get fired. Because Michael Smith don't miss. Michael Smith, man, I'm trying to think of one of my restaurant spots that just don't miss. Besides Jersey Mike's. The Philly from Jersey Mike's ain't never missed. I'm sorry. You can argue with your mama on that. The Philly, get the Philly from Jersey Mike's. And they got one with like the mushrooms on it. I ain't no crazy jalapeno guy, but they got one with jalapeno on it too. But Jersey Mike's Philly ain't never missed. I ain't seen it miss yet. Just FAMU Mike's ain't never missed. That man be hiring coaches, and them coaches be winning. Like, who hired Jamie Shue? Wasn't that a Michael Smith hire? Bruh, I'm telling you. Wasn't Willie Simmons? Willie wasn't quite Michael. He was right before. Michael Smith don't miss often on coaches. I thought he got the last softball coach before Bill. I'm telling you. Michael Smith, don't get fired from FAMU. He ain't going to miss. And at this point, look, if you do make a move, Michael Smith just making the fold. Like, I want Angie back. I make that. I want Angela Suggs back as my AD. But if you're going to make a move, man, look, you hire somebody to be in there for 6 months, figure it out, and then you bring Michael Smith back after so he get his drop money plus. That man don't miss. I think you in good hands with Mike. A lot better than what I thought we had in this last situation, because I'm just saying, look, he got more time as AD. This like 6 years. Bruh, Michael Smith has more time as athletic director than some athletic directors at some universities. That's wild. Like, I'm just saying, for real. If we being real about it, Michael Smith might be the highest tenured AD in FAMU history, next to somebody like Ken Riley. Look, don't kill the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. But if we being real about this, Ken Riley was there for like damn near a decade. Michael Smith might be in the top 3 most tenured athletic directors in FAMU history. And he's been the interim every time. That's crazy. That's nasty work. You've never been the full-time AD, but you're probably the second or third most tenured, meaning you've been the AD longer than almost every other person that's had the job. That's wild. Like, I'm just saying, like, I made sure to talk about our 21 ADs in 30 years in the State of the University survey. Oh, fill that out. Thank you. Thank you, little baby, because Kelvin sent it to me. I'm going to fill that out. I'm going to fill out tomorrow. I got to update my resume. I ain't going to lie to y'all. I had a big resume. Yeah. Good Wildcat helped me out on that too. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, he's a member of Noble Clan, but still, he been looking out. Told y'all, HBCU love is different. Like the FAMU Cookman rivalry off the field, we don't care. Like now, you talking who band better? FAMU. Stop lying. Like FAMU much better. Suggsy smooth over with the white man around the governors. Hey, yeah, that message is solely Evans. Now I will say this though. The thing you're really losing though, and you're probably right, little baby. I think Gaither was longest. That's the Bible days. But I think the things you need, and this is why I really want Angie back, honestly. I think this is my personal opinion. In 6 months on the job, she did more than Tiffany Dawn Sykes did in 2 years. So I get some of y'all, you got the jokes that you can joke about my AD all you want, but again, I like to argue with the results. Winners win. She brought Charlie Ward to FAMU. Like, I don't know what I want Charlie Ward as AD. That's a great question though. I think, okay, Kylan, that's not a bad one though. My only issue with Charlie Ward as AD is the compliance side, but keeping it a beam, that's not a bad plan. Like, if that was your succession plan, I think that would be great. That's just me personally, because he's got the business connections. Everybody loves Charlie Ward. I've yet to meet people who didn't like Charlie Ward. Like, and I've met Charlie Ward twice. I've never met Charlie Ward more than I have this since he's been FAMU coach, right? I met him in Tampa. I met him at the baseball game. I met him on the sideline at 2 of the games. Kind of just like met, but then the other time kind of talked a little bit. Not a lot of it. Yo, you're not wrong. Like, I think it'd be better. Thea's got the connections in pro ball and really in like Orlando area. Like, he can do some things, but yeah, like I want AD Sykes back though. Like, I think she was a great hire. I think other stuff is happening. I get it, but if that ever happened, I wouldn't be mad at Charlie Ward. Thank you, Mike. Let him coach. And honestly, looking at this basketball team, I'm kind of excited. I think if I'm going to tell you what I think you're going to see from Charlie Ward, go watch what he gave you in college. Go watch Pat Kenny basketball. Pat Kenny should have been a coach at FAMU. That's on some of y'all's though. I think that's what you're going to see. The kind of guard Charlie Ward was fun to watch. I don't know how many of y'all only watched him as a football player. Charlie Ward at Florida State was fun. Like, that was a fun player to watch. That was a fun team to watch. Just being a, Tallahassean and somebody who, again, anytime sports is on, if FAMU FSU was on, it was on TV in my house. I was watching it. Like, I love my city, 850 till I go. But I'm thinking that should be a fun, exciting brand of ball to see. I really want to see what Coach Gordon gives us. I almost said Coach. I want to see what Coach Gordon gives us. Like, that's going to be my question, because she's in year 3. Again, this ain't the pivot, but no pivot, no progress means if you don't move, you don't grow. Are we going to support Coach Gordon? Are we fully invested in the vision? And are we going to give her time to grow? Because this is year 3. This is her team. Like, this is the first year she's had her girls. Like, there ain't no bunch of holdovers from other teams that she couldn't get rid of. This is her team. And she didn't keep a lot of the old girls around. Like, so if you don't move, you don't grow. And so I think just kind of bringing this to a close, right? As a university, I ain't argue with what's going on in the suite there, right? I did see the articles on Blog Nation. I need to educate myself more before I develop an opinion on that partnership, right? I do have concerns about the TMH thing because I do see FSU turning that into like a teaching hospital, and all of a sudden they literally get a hospital system handed to them. And I have a concern about that. I'm not so much concerned about them trying to take this and take that and take that over from FAMU, whereas what are they going to do access wise? And are they just doing stuff to keep up with UF? Because UF is a medical system. Like, as much as we play about this, I think it would be really interesting to see some studies to see what kind of money UF makes off medicine. That's a business. Like, full stop. UF medicine, that's a business. We can play the game we want to. We can duck our heads in the sand and play stupid. It's business. I don't agree with everything Robert Kelly did, but him and Sean Corey Carter wrote a song I love to quote. This is business. Ain't nothing personal about it. And in this case, when you go over to College Town, across from FAMU, that's business. And when you start talking about them taking over TMH, that's a public hospital. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize TMH is public. Tyler community is really private. That's concerning. Like, AEA, I work for the free state of Florida. I cannot comment on that. I feel some type of way, but I can't comment on that because I work for the free state of Florida. But I got an opinion. I ain't gonna say nothing because I work for the free state of Florida. But they're gonna get their hands to them. You already know. But I think when we're starting to look at some of the things here, thank you. 2.7 billion in 23-24. You don't think Florida State sees that? Like, have you been to Gainesville? Have you been outside of Gainesville? Do you know some of the cities where UF Health is? I believe UF Health extends into Central Florida. I want to say, and I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, forgive me, I believe there's a UF Health all the way down near Daytona. Like, they're everywhere. Like, you don't think Florida State's not trying to do that to the Panhandle and pretty much go from Tallahassee to Pensacola? They already got they got a medical school in Orlando. You don't think that's the next frontier? UCF ain't got that down here. UCF ain't got the hospitals. It's Orlando Health. It's the hospital run by the Seventh-day Adventists. Forgive me, Advent Health. So, that wasn't a slight, but it's run by the Seventh-day Adventists. So that's not a slight. I didn't say anything that was unfactual. You don't think FSU trying to come to Orlando, where they already have a medical school, and partner with one of those programs, and to get a hospital down here, that's revenue. Like, at a certain place, I think we missed our place, right? If I'm saying this out loud, I think FAMU missed their blessing because I don't think we ever committed to having a pharmacy. Like, not a pharmacy school, a pharmacy. I think out loud, right? And this is just me being contrite and, just being like real about this. I think if FAMU really had taken advantage in the early 90s when Eckerd started kind of flaming out, right? When we start seeing Eckerd get taken over by CVS and some of these other things. I think if we had the mindset, right, the business acclimate to be able to say, FAMU needs a pharmacy. And we don't need just one. We need to get into the pharmacy business. And I think even going further, that's your next frontier, where you kind of look across the street there where that Walgreens is, whatever. that couldn't become a FAMU pharmacy, where it was actually a pharmacy, like a pharmacy store where you had the drugs, you had the candies, you had the snacks, you had all the different things that you sold. And it was the FAMU pharmacy. And that could become a business model to where you could expand that into being something that could become a pharmacy system, much like these hospitals are. Again, that's spitballing, man. And again, y'all catch me in them real moments a lot. I wouldn't normally just come out with that like that. But I think we missed that business because you're getting so many of our majors and our graduates that run pharmacies for CVS. They run pharmacies for Walgreens. And we're seeing where, pharmacies are kind of falling off a little bit, but it's still a place. I think that's where we missed. I think we missed that mixture of that we have a business school and we have a pharmacy school, that we never put that together to create a FAMU pharmacy and a chain of pharmacies. And specifically, when you start to look at the fact that we cater towards a Black and a brown audience, that the FAMU pharmacy never went into the neighborhood and became the family pharmacy, right? Where kind of like you had the Bond Community Center and you had those, maybe you could have your pharmacists go into those neighborhoods and those areas and those places and, use some grants and other things in your agricultural background to be able to really create like a holistic spot almost, right? I mean, that's pie in the sky. That's probably a little bit much, but that's where I'm at with it, right? That's just me, looking at where FSU is trying to catch up, as always, to whatever UF is doing, right? Business-wise, and realizing that we may have missed a mark and we may have missed a moment, and we might still be missing a moment where if there's a partnership with Florida State, right? I think the pharmacy is still something that means something. And that's a meaningful way for us to get into that business space where you can still partner, but you have to find a way to carve out that niche that supports your students and supports the future. Like more people getting into holistic medicine. Maybe that's something that, since you are an agricultural school, becomes something you can focus on. I don't know, y'all. All right, so before we get too woke, let's get up out of here. Look, we will have the post game up here if the Lord agrees with us and everything we're intending on doing. And Sunday, we'll be back here, man, talking about the game that was, and hopefully talking about a win, man. Look, I'm hoping my boy can save his eyebrows. Look, that's every reason I don't be gambling out here in these streets, man. All right, y'all. For everybody, HBCU Digital Network, mostly is me, the kids, and the wife. But everybody, Mom, Duke, everybody. We'll see y'all on Saturday at Bragg. Probably get a little video, a little film. Look, I got some people helping me out this week. I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie. We might try to, do a little something with the microphones. I got the microphones. Look, I'm excited. We're gonna try to make it look nice and professional. We got some help for some professionals. And Saturday, we're gonna be there. Sunday, we'll be back here talking about it because you already know what's up, what it's always gonna be. Thanks up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!